Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk, let's check. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing, cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast and we poppin', let's go.
Welcome back to BullyBall, a San Francisco 49er podcast. We're here today before the 49ers versus Panthers Week 5 matchup. We have a special guest from Panther Nation PC. You can follow them on Twitter, YouTube, and, go ahead and give an introduction to the fans for me.
Yo, it's Rashad, one half of the Panther Nation podcast. My co-host Dave could not join us because we're recording a little bit earlier than his availability. But we obviously cover the Panthers. We cover the draft. We cover Dave does fantasy stuff. I'm a retired fantasy player. I don't play fantasy no more. But yeah, we cover the draft, all kind of stuff. So you may not be a Panthers fan, but you may be interested in some of the content we have. So go on and hit that subscribe button for your boy.
Yeah, I saw you guys do a lot of interviews and stuff with players, things like that. So yeah, check them out for sure. So
yeah, we get a couple players every now and then. We do a lot. We're completely independent. We're the largest independent Panthers media out here, YouTube based anyway. But yeah, man, we out here working hard, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so we got this matchup coming up on Sunday. Your guys' team is currently 1-3.
Tell me,
but with that being said, you had a 10-point loss last week. And your other 2 losses were both within 3 points. So is this team really bad, or is it just, what's kind of happening with this team right now?
We're bad. We're bad offensively. No, I'm gonna be honest. And one thing about me is I'm a realist, right? I'm not one of those guys who's gonna lie to my audience and say it's all rainbows and butterflies, because it's not. Right now we are struggling mightily offensively. I mean, historically bad. So I don't know how long in fact, I don't know how long you've been a 49ers fan, but we're so bad. You may have some PTSD when we talk about the number of possessions that we're having per game, because going back, I think we're the worst since like the 2005 49ers squad.
Oh, yeah.
So it's that bad if you go back to those times for you all. That's how bad we are right now. We're historically bad offensively. We can't convert on third downs. We can't score points. Baker Mayfield, we brought him in, try to save us, and it's just bad. We're bad. And it's not, again, people pile on Baker. It's not all his fault. He definitely plays his part, but it's not all his fault. The receivers got to catch the ball. Receivers got to get open. McAdoo's got to call the plays. But offensively, we are a bad team. We're as bad as it gets. I think this is probably the worst, probably at least top 2 worst offenses I've seen ever from Panthers team. It's bad. Defensively, we're fine. We got some young guys. Obviously, we're dealing with some injuries right now. Jeremy Chin just went to IR. Our other safety, Xavier Woods, who is a top 6-7 safety in the league right now, is also questionable. So our 2 safeties might be out. And that's the strongest part of our team is our defense, right? And those 2 guys may be out. Frankie Louvu is a little bit banged up. So he's having an amazing season. He's a linebacker for us. But defensively, we're good. We're strong. Got some strong cornerbacks, but our offense is just bad, and it kind of tips the scales a little bit. So, yeah, that's a synopsis of the Carolina Panthers right now.
Yeah. So speaking on the offense, I was looking on PFF, and your guys' offensive line is rated 11th right now. Mm-hmm, so what is the issue when you have, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson? You guys have the weapons. Is it really just Baker Mayfield or play calling, or why
Yeah,
can't they pull it together?
it's literally a combination of everything. Like sometimes the receivers can't get open, right? Due to a bad play call where we're running certain situations where they shouldn't be run, and then when they do get open, Baker can't hit them, or they drop the football or whether it's tight end. So it's just a combination of worst case scenario literally every time we take a snap. Like, and you're right, we have had historically bad offensive line play prior to this season. We always could go back and say it's the offensive line's fault. They're trash. They're the worst offensive line in the league. Can't do that anymore. We drafted Icky. We brought in Austin Corbett. And our offensive line is playing the best football we've seen from an offensive line probably since 2008. It's been. I mean, we have some things to be happy about, but it's just so we can't get it going offensively. The quarterbacks, the receivers can't get on the same page. Play calling can be better. I just think we have to get the ball in our playmakers' hands quicker. We got a guy like DJ Moore who should be utilized like Debo, and he's not. He should be utilized exactly like Debo is used, and he's just not for some reason. So it's a combination of everything. It's just bad offensive play, except for the offensive line. We can't seem to run the football that well either. Christian will break one off every now and then, but yeah, our run block and our run fits could be a little bit better as well. So it's just our offense is bad. It needs some help. We need Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, and this has nothing to do with this game, but I just wanted to ask, just because we're on, is Sam Darnold going to be playing at some point this year?
If you asked me that before the season started, I would say ain't no way. But I can tell you right now, if he continues to play, if Baker continues to play like he is, I think this coaching staff has shown a propensity to pull a guy. They have done it before, so they will sit Baker if he's continuing to be trash. Right now, he's on IR, and I think he's got a couple more weeks before he can be before he's even an option. But when he is an option and Baker's still playing like trash, I absolutely think it's a possibility you could see Sam Darnold again. And I think you're starting to hear whispers from the fans. And that's kind of crazy. Like it's you have to be in dire straits to want Sam Darnold to be your starter over Baker Mayfield. Like that's the reality of the Carolina Panthers fans are in right now. It's that bad.
Yeah, I was seeing on Twitter a couple people posting, "I'm ready for Sam Darnold to come back," and I was like, "Man, I never thought I'd see that."
Yeah, we've got this. There's this meme going around. They've got Sam Darnold's face at like the bat signal. There's this guy looking up. That's kind of the thing. That's how we are right now. It's pretty bad.
And speaking on that, Jimmy Garoppolo had a press conference yesterday, and he had mentioned the Panthers were one of the top teams interested in him, but they just didn't end up pulling the trigger. Do you think he would have helped the team, or do you think you'd be in kind of the same situation?
Yeah, I really think we would be in the same situation. I think it's a coaching. Like I think our coaching staff is just not it. Our head coach does not have a specialty. He's not an offensive guy. He's not a defensive guy. He's just a people manager, right? So when you have those type of coaches, I think that's a part of the problem. We don't have a guy that can take the reins and say, "All right, you're not doing it right, Mr. Coordinator. I'm taking over and I'm going to fix it." He literally cannot do it. So I think no matter who you would have put in, you got people saying, "Oh, we should have took Malik Willis. We should have took XYZ." It wouldn't have mattered. It literally would not have mattered. I think it would have been bad no matter what. And I wouldn't look too much into the fact that we reached out to Jimmy G, because we reached out to everybody. Our Scott Fitter, our GM, he when he got here, he said we're going to be in on every deal. And we have literally been tied to every single player I feel like available at some point. We're always going to be tied to guys, and that's just a kind of a due diligence thing. So I wouldn't look too far into it. They're kicking the tires on damn near everybody.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
So we spoke on some of the weaknesses of the Panther team. Where is the real strength of this team? We kind of spoke on the O-line, but like, is there one spot where it's like, hey, if they can win this, they might have a chance in this game?
I think our defense has scored in 2 consecutive games. We had a pick 6 last week, and then we had a fumble recovery for return the week prior to that. So our defense is, and I'm not going to say a particular position because our defensive line, we don't get the best pass rush, but they're effective enough to get the pressures out. Like Brian Burns is leading, like I think he's top 2 when it comes to pressures, according to PFF. So he gets pressure, but he can't quite land a sack. He's got 3 sacks this year, so he's doing an okay job. But we lack on the other end. Like Yetur Gross-Matos is not the best pass rusher. He's a decent run stopping defensive end. Interior guys are playing well. Derek Brown from Auburn, drafted him 3-4 years ago. He's having a great season, having his best season so far. So the interior is solid. Matt Ioannidis is what we picked up from Washington. Very solid defensive line. They could use a little bit better pass rush, but we had a terrible game against the Browns defending the run. Terrible game. Followed that up. Not so bad against the Giants, but now we're starting to get it together from as far as stopping the run. So I would say that's kind of a weak point, but I think we're kind of shoring that up. I would say the strength relies in our secondary. We got J.C. Horn, who has given up, less than 50 yards over the past 3 games. He's really good. He's going to shut down probably your number one unless you move him around. He's probably going to shut him down. We've got C.J. Henderson, who's given up a solid PI, a very good PI every single game. So you can pretty much bake on him giving up a big play off of a PI if you're pushing it deep. He's gonna probably grab the guy and there's gonna be a flag. So he's solid, but and I'm a CJ Henderson fan. I like him. I think he has the tools, but he's having a rough go so far. And again, Jeremy Chin is great. Our safeties were great, but they're going to be both out most likely. I'm not going to say, well, Jeremy Chin is out. Xavier Woods is a game time decision. So, I don't. It's tough to find like a happy place, but the defense is it. And I think, your offense is not the greatest.
No.
You slow Debo down. You get in Jimmy G's face. I think we can put up a fight, but it's just I don't. There's no way I can see our offense doing enough against your defense. It's just. I think that's where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, and Brian Burns, he's second behind Nick Bosa in pressures. But that was one player I had as a key matchup in this game because, we're down to our 3rd string left tackle, Jalen Moore, who's starting this game, and it's been rough. They kind of have to, they have to keep George Kittle in the block just to help him out, and then.
Which
our
removes
interior
him from the pass game, which sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And then also our interior O-line has been good, but we have a 5th round rookie starting at right guard. And, I don't know if you watched the game last Sunday night, but he kept getting pulled out and they put in the backup. They kept swapping him in and out. He's good, but he makes mistakes on the interior. So there are some holes on the O-line that you guys might be able to expose.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you get in Jimmy's face, Jimmy Garoppolo is bound to make one dumb mistake every game. He didn't really do it this past week, but, he always throws a dumb interception at the worst time. So he's going to give you one. You got to capitalize on it.
Yeah, that's the tough part because if it's not going for 6, I don't see us capitalizing off of it too much. You take out our defensive scores, our offense really isn't doing anything, which is kind of scary. I think we're putting up 19 points per game, and y'all are only giving up 11. So 11 and a half. So it's going to be like our defense versus your offense. It's weakness versus strength, and that's just I don't see that working out too much. Can we muster enough on defense to slow you guys down and then, maybe put a couple of points on the board? It's really interesting. If you ask any Panthers fan, when you talk about the matchup, 17 points is our thing. I don't know if you heard the stat.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so you heard the stat. And for all those who are listening, if you haven't heard the stat, Matt Rule is now 1-26 when the opposing team scores 17 points or more. Right? You guys are averaging right at 17 points. So if you get to the 17-point mark, it's pretty much a W. So it's a crazy stat for that to even be like for me to even say that makes me want to puke. Like every time I talk about that stat, I really want to puke because that's come on. This is the NFL. It's 7. It's not like it's, oh yeah, we're giving up 30 points a game. That would be like a completely different scenario. We're giving up. You're talking about 17 points. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. It's
And
so. Go ahead. My fault.
no, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. So 17 points. It's not a lot of points.
Yeah.
So it's just it's unfortunate. And that's kind of the state of the Panthers right now.
And the 49ers look like they're getting back to where they should be, with this win against the Rams, but they had 2 duds. That Broncos game was terrible. And I mean every Broncos game is terrible this year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you also had the Bears game, it was a monsoon, but you can't really make too many excuses. They put up 2 duds. 2 good games, 2 duds. So, you never really know what you're getting every week with this team. And 49ers this week going to be without Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw, their 2 starting interior D linemen. So, that defense, probably the best defense in the NFL right now, but they have, a hole right in the middle of that defense. So,
yeah, I mean, can we take advantage of it? We've shown the propensity to be able to run the football sometimes, and then we won't. Like, I think McAdoo wants to pass the football, but I think if we really concentrate and get the run game going, it's going to open up so much more in the offense. I think that's really a part of our problem is that we can never get the run game going consistently. So if there are gaps and we can slow Bosa down by running the football, like I think that would be great. I would be surprised. And listen, I'm a diehard Panthers fan. I think anything is possible, right? Any given Sunday. And so, like, as we talk through this, I mean, I can see, us pulling a victory. But at the same time, it's like, man, I got to be a realist. Like, they have not shown us anything to be excited about offensively. Defensively, again, we can do enough. But offensively, unless we put it together, unless Baker Mayfield can throw 200 plus, and give us a touchdown or so without turning the football over. And we could put it in the hands of our running backs, plural, not just Christian McCaffrey, all of our running backs. We got Deontay Foreman, who we have not used yet. Like, he's getting like 1 or 2 carries a game. Not acceptable. He's a bruiser. Get him out there. He's a really good back. It boggles my mind how we don't use him. Right? Even on 4th and 1. Last week we had a 4th and 1 play. We tried a Christian McCaffrey out there, not Deontay Foreman. So stuff like that, it's just, come on, it's basic.
Yeah,
it's basic football stuff that you're like, man, what are we doing? And so we'll see. But again, anything is possible any given Sunday. But if you ask me, predict it, I don't think we're going to get the W.
Yeah, I have once we get to the end, I'll be asking you for your prediction.
Yeah. Sure. I was going to hold off on it. Go
ahead.
Yeah.
So, we have a safety swap this week. So, like you said, Jeremy Chin goes on IR, and it looks like Miles Hartsfield going to be playing safety from what I was seeing.
Well, yeah. So Miles Hartsfield is a nickel back. He's a nickel. He's on the field a lot. So he's a guy that he'll probably play a little bit back there. But we do have Marquise Blair, who used to play with Seattle, I believe. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that's going to get promoted. And we also have Justin Burris, who's been on the team. He's a vet. He used to play for the Browns, but he's been with the Panthers for a couple of years now. So it's not like we're going to be like terrible, but we're not going to have our stars there, right? So
yeah,
I think we'll be okay. I think Burris and Blair will do enough, but if Woods is out, it's going to suck. And I'd rather have him. And it's a hamstring injury too, so it's not like it's hammies linger. Just let him, you got to let him heal up. Both of them, Jeremy Chin and Woods, both have hamstrings. So those are tough injuries. You just got to let him heal up. So I would be very surprised if Woods plays. And if he's not, I mean, you can attack us deep.
Yeah. And so you guys lose your star safety. 49ers get their star safety back this week. Jimmy Ward back with the team this week. He was on IR. I believe he also had a hamstring injury. So, 49ers DBs, it's looking like a very, very good group this year. Like I said, the D line is where the weakness is going to be this week. But yeah, so, we have one segment that I really wanted to ask you that we do on our podcast. It's the bully of the week. Our channel's Bully Ball because the 49ers, they like to out physical teams. They like to bully the team, beat them up in the run game. Debo likes to run people over, things like that.
Mhm.
So, who is your bully of the week projection for the Panthers? Who's going to be the guy on offense or defense that they're gonna give you fits in this game?
Yeah, I think, and I wouldn't have said this until I didn't know you had issues at guard. But I'm gonna go ahead and say my man Derek Brown is gonna be problematic against you guys. I think
Okay.
he's gonna be able to toss guys around. I think he's already a bully. He's been bullying every week, but he's definitely gonna be the bully of the week this week. I think he's gonna get it done with the soft interior. Pause. But I think he's gonna get it done, and I think he's gonna have a sack. And I think he's going to have multiple pressures on the quarterback. So I'm rolling with Derek Brown. He's having a breakout year. A lot of Panthers fans were down on him, calling him a bust because we picked him top 10. But like I've been saying, I did a whole video on it last year. It takes time for these interior guys to get going. It's a man's game in the trenches, and I think he just had to get his weight up a little bit and get used to physicality. And year 3 is typically when that happens for most interior guys. You go to like Sue. A lot of those guys in year 3 is when it happens. So Derek Brown is having that year, and I think he's going to be the bully of the week.
Awesome. I like it. Yeah, that's been an issue. Even when the 49ers have been good, run blocking and pass protecting, the guards always seem to get pushed back. They get pushed back in the quarterback's lap. They get pushed back into the running back. It's just, I don't know. I think they can't anchor really well on the O-line. But 49ers bully of the week, my projection is going to be Dre Greenlaw, linebacker. 49ers extended him earlier in this season. He had 12 tackles last week. He's a big play guy. He gets interceptions every year. That one against Seattle a couple years back stopped him on the 1-yard line. But the dude's been flying around, playing good ball. I think he's going to get a turnover this week. So Dre Greenlaw, my bully of the week projection.
It's gonna be, so what is he? Is he a middle linebacker?
No, he's an outside linebacker.
Okay, gotcha. So
Yeah.
It's gonna have a rough time trying to handle CMC. I think we're gonna get CMC the ball a lot. But yeah, no, it's good call.
And then your score projection for this game.
So score, man, this is tough. This is tough. So I think the 49ers will pull it out. But I think it's going to be low scoring for sure. Because I don't think our offense will be able to get it going, and I think your offense is very questionable too. So I'm gonna go like, because 17 is the number, I'm gonna go 17. I'm gonna go 17-10 49ers.
Okay. I like it. Low scoring game.
Yep.
I'm going to say, I think the 49ers offense is finally getting on track. The defense is playing very well. I'm going to say 24-13 49ers winning the game. I think,
that.
I think you get a long touchdown or some couple field goals. Your turnover, I said Jimmy G is going to give you're going to score on that drive or something like that. But yeah, so
yeah, I think that it all boils down for the Panthers. If you want to, like, we'll have this thing on our show called The Game Within the Game. Like, and if you really watch what happens on third down offensively for the Panthers, that's really going to be the key to the game. Like, we're like the worst third down offense in the league, right? And you guys are the best third down defense. If for some way, some magic, mysterious, glorious miracle, we're able to start converting on third downs, y'all might have a long game.
Yeah.
But I don't anticipate that happening. But if you watch, just keep an eye on the third down conversions. If we're over 50%, I mark my words, come back to this. If we're over 50% on third down conversions, we're going to win the game.
No, and I can agree with you on that, because the 49ers have had issues on third downs offensively as well. In that Denver game, I believe they were 0 for 9 or 0 for 10 on third down. And, you leave our defense on the field too long, they get tired, and that's when they start breaking. So
that's our problem. That's our problem right there. Our offense can't sustain drives. You leave the defense on the field. They're great in spurts, but by the time the fourth quarter comes and you guys got that run game, you turn it around, you just start wearing guys down. So I just think the style of the game, it just doesn't lend well to us. Like, if you have that ball control offense, and you actually execute it to perfection, it's going to be a long day for the Panthers. But if for some reason we're able to convert on third downs, I'm just looking at the stats here. You guys are give up 32% on third down, which ranks 8th in the league, and we are last, and we're only converting 25%, so a quarter of our third down plays. So if that somehow magically goes above 50%, we will win this game. I firmly believe that, because we'll be able to sustain and we'll be able to stay on the field, keep our defense off the field. I think we've lost every time possession battle this year. I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I think we've lost every time possession battle, and I think we haven't hit over 60 plays this year.
Wow.
So yeah. So it's ugly, man. It's ugly.
Yeah.
But if that changes, we'll win.
Yeah. Hey, like you said, any given Sunday, we've been seeing some crazy things throughout the NFL this whole season. So you never know. I had one more question for you. So I'm going to the game. I'm flying out tomorrow to Charlotte.
Okay.
So
we gotta meet up then.
You got any recommendations or anything for the fans, 49er fans heading out there? Any places to go, things like that?
Yeah, so if you look up a place called Hooligans, it's like in this little, it's not too far from the stadium, probably about maybe a 5-10 minute walk from the stadium. It's like a little bar. It's like a little bar area. So that's really where everything kind of goes down pre-game. So a lot of people over there. I would check that out. As far as other spots, man, trying to think. I don't really get out there like that uptown, but and I live in Charlotte. I just don't go out up there too much. And when I do, I kind of hang with my people. So I'm trying to think where else places you can go pre-game. I don't know, man. I'm not the best recommender.
Hey, no,
but check out Hooligans, a little bar. They don't necessarily have to be Hooligans, but any bar in that little cut. You know what I'm talking about when you look it up.
Perfect. And
yep.
What should we expect? Should we expect like 90% Panthers, 10% 49er fans? What should we be expected?
Sir. No, it's probably going to be about 50-50, to be honest.
Yeah.
Our stadium gets overrun by especially big fan bases like the 49ers, Cowboys, Steelers, stuff like that. Yeah, it'll be probably about 50-50. And the way we're playing right now, we're not going to box anybody out. Usually when the Panthers are good, we show up. We have a very fair weather fan base. When we're good, everybody's out cheering, but when we suck, nobody shows up and everybody sells their tickets. So it'll be about 50-50.
All right.
Which is crazy, but you'll see when you're there. 50-50.
Hey, I've been through those years too. When the 49ers were down, I used to be sitting in the lower bowl, and then they got good. You can't sit in the lower bowl anymore. So we've been through it.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's all I got. You got any closing remarks or anything you want to say to the fan base?
Yeah, man. Make sure you hit us up at Panther Nation PC on Twitter, Panther Nation Podcast on YouTube. Man, we got some big things coming up. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy, our partner. Check them out. Use the code PNP. Sorry if I'm promoting on your channel.
No, you're good. Do it. We ain't got none.
All right, my bad. So underdogfantasy.com. So if you're into like pick'ems, over-unders, all that good stuff, underdogfantasy.com. Use the code PNP when you sign up. They're a great partner of ours, man. So we love to shout them out anytime we can. And that's pretty much it, man. Check us out.
Perfect. Thanks for coming on with us. And we'll see you guys on Sunday. Good luck.
Yeah, man. Hit me up if you're coming out. We'll connect, and I'll be at the game too.
Oh yeah, definitely.